Okay. Double checking that the stream is alive and well. It says it is. Checking the video dashboard. Now I'll just go straight to the channel. Yep, it's here.
Unlisted.
Hello. It's not unlisted. It's public, so you can Yeah. It's because the rules. It's not like a specific rule, but he said to make the code open source. So I'm like, oh well. I'm okay with making it open source at the end and streaming the code itself. It's just not while we're working on it, so people don't like clone the repository or something like that. Let me open up like paint.net here and then start streaming mine. Applications paint.net. Yeah, good enough. All right. I don't need to look at my own now. All right. So what's our ideas, Nathan?
Hang on, I'm checking to make sure stream audio is good.
Yeah, you do that. Going over to my bestest friend in the whole world to send them a stream link. Right there on screen. Let me close out Audio Manager.
So audio, the volume is fine.
Yeah.
But I sound like I'm done with life.
I don't know how I could fix that, Nathan. Turn you up a slight bit, but that's it.
You can't fix that. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with this might sound like that, but whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta sound more lively, Nathan.
How?
You know, do some push-ups. Maybe do some energy drinks. Take a walk outside.
Can't go outside right now.
You know what?
I have an excuse to be antisocial.
Good for you. Good for you. Right.
There. Ideas.
Ideas? Yeah, so what I was thinking in my head is that we kind of have like this sort of idea, this typing thing. What's a good? I got a off-brand Minecraft font here. This might work great. So we have like a typing tutor essentially. I didn't really envision it with any sort of art at the moment because I didn't see it until literally 2 hours ago. But I was imagining that we'd have like a simple phrase like, I don't know, the quick brown fox, right? So we have like a phrase that would appear on screen. And then what the player needs to do is that they need to type out said phrase, right? So the quick brown fox. But as they're typing it, right, some of the text might be like, so how do I phrase this? There's a sort of benchmark words per minute that you're expected to do. So while you're supposed to be typing in a phrase, the game will type in parts of the phrase, one bit at a time, like one character at a time. And if it catches up to like where the player has typed, right, then you lose because essentially the monster has caught up to you. So like the letters might like tilt and like fall away, and then like as the game types them out, and then if it catches up to where you are, you lose. Game over, big scary screamer. That's what I was kind of thinking, because like the way that it might slowly creep up to where you are currently in that phrase might be spooky. Okay. And if we put in like a loud noise or something, it might scare people. But obviously we have to incorporate the elements of the thing. So if we just go ahead, already we can do this kind of with the font. So we can just use this font here. I'm not sure
Is that
about...
from the assets?
Yeah, it's from the assets. I decided to...
Okay.
There are a few characters that weren't initially there. For example, like these characters here, which literally what I did is that I took a period and then I just stretched it. If I was selecting the right layer, I could take a period and then stretch it like that, and then turn off the filtering. So then that's how you would get that.
Semicolon, you just made a new one.
Yeah, and then for like parentheses, I took a 0 and then split it in half. And then for I think these are greater than and less than, I took the multiplication /x here, and then I split that in half. So most of the things that you see here that weren't originally in the art kit are things that are comprised of copy and paste and things that I could do with the select tool. So I didn't use any of the paintbrush stuff, just select, copy, paste. Okay. Which is why the tilde is a sideways S. But yeah, my general idea is that text appears on the screen, and that is the main focus. For exciting gameplay ideas, I was thinking that maybe the text could be inside like a sort of text box, right? And this text box could be manipulated by maybe enemies in the background or on the screen or something. So like, for example, if you run into like a ghost, maybe some ghosts might swoop down or something, and then they'll move the text box like off screen, and then you gotta like click around and get rid of them or something. I don't know what you think about that.
Okay, I think we could come up with something interesting for that kind of thing. What are the rules on making assets exactly?
We can use any sounds and music, but if we do make any art assets, I think they have to be made from stuff from the kit, so it should be obvious they're from the kit. Like I said, stuff that I didn't have here, I just copy-pasted,
So you can make stuff from the kit, but you can't make things from scratch.
Yeah, you can't just start going in here and being all like, I need an upside-down T, and then draw an upside-down T. No, you have to take the T and flip it upside down.
I think if you really wanted to, you could make that tilde better.
Yeah, I could. I just did it real quick, because I didn't want to...
out the middle.
Just cut out the middle.
Yeah.
Looks a bit more like an infinite.
ends.
Cut off the ends, like here and here, or like... Or like here and here.
Cut off this part.
Oh,
see.
So like the snake's head and the tail?
Yeah. I'd go to the midline.
To the midline? Like these here too?
No.
No?
Like, keep cutting off the ends. Don't touch it. Anything in the middle. Just cut off more.
Yeah.
One more pixel.
It's kind of like a tilde but slanted.
Now it needs the 4 pixels from the middle removed.
Give me a second, I think it's the other way around. Is it? Yeah, I think the tilde goes the other way around. Uh-oh. Actually,
Rotate.
Not rotate, but actually flip.
Yeah, mirror.
And then middle removed, as in...
Yeah, the 4 pixels in the middle.
Like these?
The 4. You removed too much.
Okay, yeah, that works great, Nathan. Big brain puzzle man here. That was great, and we got that on stream, so no one could say we just made that up.
That took a while to communicate, but it worked.
It worked, big
Now
brain.
it looks like a tilde.
Now we gotta make sure we use a tilde in the phrases that we have to type out now. Just because we put so much effort into that. But
putting a tilde into the phrases would be evil.
But I think, I mean, it wouldn't be that evil considering that we probably wouldn't have the players worry about capital or lowercase, seeing as the font is just capital. Unless, you know, you're really wanting to go through the effort of shrinking these down a little bit, but I think that might ruin it. And also, it'd still look weird, so...
Maybe what we do is, for the hardest difficulty, we just make it give random characters that don't mean anything, and tildes in there.
That's evil. Yeah, I was actually wondering how we would manage difficulty scaling and then where we would get our text. Are we just going to come up with the text ourselves? Are we just going to use some sort of online library thing?
Maybe harder difficulties use more obscure words.
Oh yeah, we could probably find things, come up with grandiloquent phrases. I don't know if it's the proper term, but that's what we could do. Alright, do you have any interesting ideas here? Have you thought of any typing game things? Haven't really been thinking of any game ideas, have you?
I've been trying to come up with stuff for this, I just haven't come up with anything good yet.
Well, I mean, just throw it at the wall, see what happens. See if it sticks.
Yeah.
Obviously, there needs to be a bit more of incorporation of, like, the assets here. So, I'm thinking we could probably just make, like, the text box somewhere, like, kind of not exactly in the center. Maybe we either make the text box, like, smaller in the center, and we just scroll the text that you need to type, or we, like, put it off in, like, one of the corners, or, like, along the top or something.
One idea I had is maybe like a Five Nights at thing, but to like close the doors and stuff, you have to type phrases.
Yeah, that would be kind of interesting. Maybe, should it be like a top-down, or should we make like a pseudo, like fake 3D sort of ordeal like Five Nights at Freddy's? Because what we're working with here is this.
Yeah,
like, if we make it top-down, I'm thinking we could probably just zoom it in a whole bunch and then add like a, for example, if we take our player character here, this is our player character, say hi to player character. We take our player character, and then what we could do is, in essence, to try to like make it scarier and limit the player's view, we could just put like a big circle around them, kind of like that, but I messed it up. So I guess we'll grab a new.
Great idea. Top-down dungeon crawler type thing, except you attack the enemies by typing phrases at them.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's pretty good. How will we get the horror element in there, though? Because obviously, yeah, this is like a top-down slash like platformer sort of ordeal when it comes to how it's organized. It really says top-down, but we could also do like a platformer. And I mean, I guess if I spend a lot of time researching how 3D works in GameMaker, we could do it in 3D.
We don't have time for this game jam, and we were going to do Unity for the next one, so not really any point.
Yeah. We could just make it like a top-down sort of ordeal. Yeah. Maybe a horror dungeon crawler might work, but how would we make enemies? You know what? Actually, no. That'd be great. What if the general like sort of story of it is that you're going in dungeon crawling, right? so you can move around and everything. You attack the enemies by typing, but you got a curse, or maybe there's like a, I don't know, a spirit, like an ancestral spirit that like haunts you, and so they like judge maybe your ability to cast spells, and if you fail like to do so, they freaking eat you up. So that way it makes sense why there's a thing kind of like chomping away at the phrases that you need to utter or type.
I think if we're gonna do a dungeon crawler thing, the threat of the enemy coming to attack you is enough without the text disappearing. So
I don't know. I think if we're gonna make it kind of unique and engaging, we should have the text disappearing. Just keep it like have a difficulty curve to it, so that way it's like super slow.
I think
But
having the text disappearing makes two things controlling the difficulty, and it's always going to be controlled by one, and the other is going to be redundant, and it's just not going to work well.
I say we should test out both together and then separately when we get around to it. Then
Yeah.
I think that's ultimately what we might have to do. Because personally, I think that the letters falling away stuff is kind of exciting. Because then there's a point to typing fast, other than maybe enemies, getting time to hit you. But I feel like when it's just enemies, it's kind of generic. Well, we'll just have to see.
Except if one word or phrase only is one attack on a single enemy, and there's a horde of 30 enemies coming after you.
Oh, okay. So you're thinking
Yeah.
differently than I am when it comes to like enemy encounters. All right, yeah.
Yeah, like you're just wandering around the world, and then there's an enemy there, like Minecraft dungeons.
Yeah.
Not turn-based or anything like that.
So it's more like a real-time sort of ordeal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. So if it is a real-time thing, how would we go about movement? Would it be like just typing for movement? Is it just going to be like mouse-based? Are we going to use keyboard?
Either mouse-based or arrow keys, possibly both.
Okay. Are we going to map it to like a grid? Seeing as this is kind of a grid. I mean, we don't have to do a grid, honestly.
I think it'd be better without a grid.
Okay.
Especially because a grid can really easily limit the number of enemies that can come at you and get rid of that sense of urgency when you get swarmed.
Okay.
So.
And are we going to use just the monochrome one, or are we going to use this colored tile one?
I think it'd look cooler as monochrome.
Monochrome? Alright. So we might have to, like, get all of these to be... all of these to be, like, plain white, which wouldn't really take much time, honestly. We could probably do that now. Oof. Well, I guess if we're not doing... I guess what I was thinking of was more of a quick Kingsway sort of ordeal. I don't know if you've seen that before. That game is literally just Windows 98, but like everything's just trying to distract you from what you're trying to do. So like enemies have moving windows, or they'll like put pop-ups in your face, and you're just supposed to click around them, or like drag things out of the way.
Oh, I think I might know what you're talking about. That's the game that looks like an OS, right?
Yeah, it's the roguelike one that looks like an OS. It's really cool.
I saw one Let's Play of that ages ago, so...
Uh-oh. Alright, well, if that's all of our ideas, we might as well kind of begin work on sort of the basic things and see if anything else comes up to us. Personally, I'm gonna leave some room for that fading away mechanic, because I want to see how it works, but obviously we'll incorporate some sort of real time. Now with enemies, are we gonna do them like based on some sort of distance? So if they get within a certain proximity of you, before they attack, they'll like show like a pop-up above their heads or something? or like when enemies approach you, or like just as long as the enemy is on screen, they'll have the ability to have their phrases typed out.
Sorry, I wasn't paying very close attention.
Okay, so like what I'm thinking about is like with enemies and the player. So like I don't know.
So,
Here's
how you attack them?
yeah,
I
how you
think
would go about attacking them. Like if they're on the screen, will they just always show their text above them?
I
Or
think there's two ways we could go about this.
okay,
Either one, uh, actually more like three ways. The first way is we could do it so you have a few different attacks, like maybe you have a stab attack and an AoE attack and stuff. And the game will just target whichever enemy is closest and maybe draw a box around them so it shows who you're targeting. And then you just type a different phrase depending on what attack you want to do.
okay. So like above an enemy, it would be like I don't know, slash and then magic and then AOE
No,
or something.
nothing above the enemies. You'd
Okay,
have
but
it'd
how
be a
would you do targeting?
like I said, it'd just target the closest enemy and maybe draw a box around them.
That sounds a little bit annoying. And what if there's multiple close enemies?
Then you use the AoE attack.
Okay.
So, basically, character, enemies here, and maybe some phrases down here for your different attack types, and you type out the phrase for the attack you want, kind of thing. Or
Okay.
something like that. That's the first way we could do it. The second way is just have the text to attack an enemy above it,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking more of.
and and you only have one attack type, and it only shows that text for the few closest enemies so that it doesn't get too cluttered.
Yeah.
And there was one more I was thinking of, but I can't remember. But those are the two main ways we could do it.
Okay.
I think it'd be interesting to have more than one attack type. Have some strategy behind it.
Okay. You kind of remind me of that Texturesys thing that you showed me. A little bit. But we'll see what happens with that. So I gotta replace this tile set with the monochrome one.
In a second.
It's not exactly lining up, so I'm gonna use. Alright, that looks good. So we got that. Alright. So let's see. This is like the first time I've really done this. Like command.
Okay, I'm back. Anyway, the biggest difference between this and the Texturesys is in that game, it's bullet hell boss fights. Here, it's getting swarmed by a bunch of individual enemies.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I've
Also-
done a lot of swarming games lately.
for the for the horror thing, we
Yeah.
could just do a dark level where you can't see enemies until they're right on top of you already, and hope that jump scares people. Maybe.
I kind of want there to be a bigger emphasis on the horror, though. Because if we're just making like a dungeon crawler, a lot of people are going to be making a dungeon crawler just because they see the art kit and they think dungeon crawler.
Maybe we could use some sort of horror dictionary so that if you pay attention to what you're typing, things start to get creepy.
Okay, okay. Alright. I guess we'll just kind of get started on some of the basic things.
Yeah, we're gonna import the tile sets. Is that what I should import them as, tile sets?
So the way GameMaker works is that you import a sprite, and then from that sprite, you can set up a tileset resource, and then just link that sprite resource to the tileset resource. By default, it's 16 by 16 for each tile, but you can set that all in the tileset. I've already got it pretty much set up. I'm hoping that you have that latest version where it is all set up, so it's all good. If we move to like a room editor and get that working, I can show the tiles here. So I can place like trees and stuff, so. I forgot to pick it up.
Well, now I've got a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know how to throw out any changes that I've made and just download the newest version.
Can you not just? I never really used much of GitHub yet before, so like it's something new. Can you not just like pull in the GitHub desktop? There's just a discard changes thing. Which means I might have to. I gotta set up a font. I never made a Sprite-based font before, so I already pulled up some documentation here on how to do this. Okay. Calc font for making like a calculator. Alright, well. I guess I'll start with the font and then the typing. How would I... This one uses a global thing. It might be a good idea to use the font as a global thing, but can I bind this to like a macro? Is that a thing I can do?
I think I'm gonna change to using Git instead of GameMaker's built-in
Yeah.
stuff.
I use the GitHub desktop a bit more than I use the GameMaker thing. So on create, we'll just like make an initialization thing and then get rid of these tiles because we probably don't need them here. It's just to put the global object in. And then we can make like a real room for testing. Test room. And then from init, we can just do like a creation code, really cheap. Just go to the next room. And then inside test, we can do all sorts of stuff like these tiles. Well, yeah, this is it. We can probably put like, I don't know, some trees, a bunch of trees everywhere. This
Import
stuff.
these files where they are, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it just adds that it exists.
I've got chat pulled up on my phone. I think I see either 2 copies of myself or someone's in here watching patiently. Alright. So we got like this very beautiful little screen here, and if we launch the game, I think it should just pop up just fine. Yeah, so here's our game. Simple as that, we already have the tile set in there. So this wants me to sort of do this sort of font add sprite thing. So we would put a sprite and then some sort of string map, which I'm assuming is based off of this. And then proportional. We'll see what happens.
When I try and import the
Yeah.
Git version of it, I go to the folder for the game.
Yeah.
And the YZZ file is missing.
Bro.
But it's there when I do it in the normal file explorer, just not the one I need it for.
What the heck? Oops. So string, map string. I might have to pull up. Oh, that's not it. Pull up this here. Alright. You know what, we'll just do this. Boop. So I'm assuming it's white space, exclamation point, and then that, that, parentheses, asterisk, star, comma, minus, dot, slash, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then colon, and then semicolon, and then greater than, and then equal, then, no, less than, equal, greater than, question mark, at sign, A, B, C, D, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, and then backslash, backslash, square brackets, caret, underscore, I forget what that is called, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, and then the, we probably don't need those brackets, I don't even think they're in there. No, they are, that, tilde, and then there's like this other thing here, but I don't know what that is, so I'll just leave that out. I'm assuming that's all we need to put it, right? That's kind of big, and I don't like things that are kind of big like that, so I guess I'll just take this and then make it a variable, I guess. Do I need to make this string map? I'm just gonna assume that I can just do that. Just a variable and then type in map like that. And it's not proportional, and we probably don't need separation. And then maybe we're good? I don't know. We're gonna have to find out, so I guess we'll just make an event, draw event, and then we'll just call it test for now. Draw set fonts, FMT Kenny, and then I guess draw text extended. We'll do it like 16, 16, and then the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. No separation, no width. Whoops. No. Oh, well, actually, we do. Yeah.
When I try and import it, it insists on saving it in a different place.
I guess save it in a different place.
The GitHub synchronization stuff doesn't work.
It doesn't? Oh, dang.
The Git is synchronizing to the file where it is. If I duplicate it somewhere else, now it's updating the version that's not being used.
Not set before reading it. I guess I can't do a macro. Oh wait, It's not... I guess it doesn't like me using this, so... We'll just see that. Don't see anything, and I might have messed up a number of things. We'll see. We'll not make this a macro, we'll just make it a global. Thing real quick, and then see if that changes anything. No, it didn't, so... Uh-oh. Change that back. Change that back. Is it just... Let me change this to like a GUI event. We'll put like some separation. Make it bigger. You know what? Is this not good being in the room?
Trying to fix it, and this came up in one of the articles, and I hate it.
Get owned. I'm thinking I did something wrong that's like super obvious, but usually I don't do like coding this late, so I'm like awful right now. Sprite font. Let me read the documentation. Oh, you know what? I think I know what I might have messed up. This might need to be, how do I... convert to frames. I think I need to do that first. Doi. Okay, frame width I think is about 16 by 16, and then frames per row. Yeah. Can I just 30, 90, 94, yeah, converting. Yeah, I guess if we ever mess up, too bad.
I'll watch a video, be back in a minute.
Alright. There we go. Now we messed up something because that isn't the quick brown fox. But at least we know it's outputting some kind of text. So I'm assuming that the order is correct because, according to the font table, generally looks okay. So maybe I messed up somewhere in here. That's a forward slash, right? Yeah. So we can use a macro, I think, but like I messed up somewhere along the line. And I gotta figure out where and how. Is there any sort of pattern to it? course. These should be in order. Oh, oh, I think I see it. Yeah, I might. The ampersand is missing. If I remove the ampersand, what does that do? Yeah, go ahead and run it again. There we go. Big brain. Just kidding. Not very big brain. It's very small brain that I put the ampersand in there. But there we go. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Done with that. So, thank you, documentation. Yay. Alright, so I guess now we should work on some sort of typing thing. I'll just put in typing box. I don't know. Should probably
How big is the room right now?
so the initial room should be about 1280 by 720 because this one sets the general resolution that the game renders out internally, and then also the window size. And then it moves immediately to this next room, which is 1024 by 768. So the image does come out a bit stretched, but yeah. We can manage that with a camera object, though, so it won't be super horrible. We just need to enable views. What else did I throw in here? Okay, getting an itty bitty baby headache right now. Alright, so the way that I kind of envisioned how this would work.
Okay.
Yeah.
I finally got it to work.
Nice work.
That was so jank and weird and annoying to do. Basically, what I had to do was import it, then tell it to save over the existing location, at which point it deleted everything to make room for the new one without storing the old one, so it just deleted everything. Because it didn't realize it was saving back to the same place. So then I had to re-download everything. And yeah. Just weird and jank and annoying.
You could probably just leave this.
But it's working now, so.
We'll probably want some sort of phrase. And then
Is there a way to change the Sprite preview background?
look around in the preferences. If it really bothers you, you can just hook up the Sprite. You can change the Sprite edit and stuff to just some other editor. I guess what we'll do for the moment is just let's see. Does string width work with imported strings? I guess we'll just have to find out. And then I'm just going to be drawing over some other tiles. So there's like a slight mismatch here because they're 3 times larger. I'll probably put like something. And then we'll go to this room and clear up some space in the middle here. And then yeah, that's pretty good. So that's that would work. But now we gotta compare it to some sort of phrase and stuff. So I guess we'll just start work on that.
I think for timing, what we can do is just look at how long the stream lasted.
Oh yeah, we could do that, I guess. Alright, so actually, do I really need to do this every step? We could probably just and then there will be a small input delay, but it might be slightly more effective. I don't know. Oh yeah, we might need to convert all of these to caps or something, because there's no way to really determine the difference. So what we'll do is that we'll copy this, but we'll do phrase. Instead of keyboard string, we'll put my thought process is, if the entire phrase fits in, if the user's input fits into the phrase, it's probably right. We'll have to see if that holds true, in which case. And I really just want to make oh no, I misspelled argument. Oops. Gotta put a string literal in there. So on screen we should see "Sing Me a Song Tonight." We should probably do a color as a test. Then it's going to ask for a bunch of colors. We'll put C gray, the weird spelling of gray. And then full transparency. Sing me a song tonight.
I think since the project is kind of too small to have 2 people working on it right now, I'm going to try and find a good dictionary to use.
Okay. Probably add some sort of condition where it doesn't match. Have a little thing here. Except we probably don't need this actually. We can probably just put this in. About like 16. Would that work? Just clean this up. We don't need very much of this. It's checking out every time. But why is keyboards? Did they change how keyboard string works? Containing the last, at most, 1024 characters. We'll clear out this real quick. Oh, you know what? They all need to be converted to uppercase because I'm typing in lowercase. So, string upper. I'll probably do this. Oops. Yeah, whatever. thinking. That's me being dumb right now. Let's see how that looks. That's working much closer to what I intended. We probably don't need this to be in for the middle, actually. Can I just do that? Scale divide by 2. Yeah, we might need to do that. Oh, uh-oh. I hope my dog's okay. Yeah, that looks pretty okay. Simple little check here. Whoops. Literally a few lines of code. So, we probably don't need these debug things. And then, just in case I want to do this. Words per minute, so 1. And then for like 60 times like 60, I'll just do this. I think that might work. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I found us a list of words,
Okay, cool.
individual words, and they're not phrases. Funnily enough, it's on GitHub.
Let's see here. Update that. Oh, we might need to keep track of. And then, it's like once every minute, it'll type 1 letter. That's not a very good words per minute now, is it? That wasn't really... I'll just do this. So like
Oh,
every
nice.
second.
We even get our choice of format for the words.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's one that's just a list of them as a text document. There's one that's a JSON file.
Okay, so spaces might be an issue. So what if I added some sort of blank cursor? A lot of things seem to be going off of this one variable, so just do that.
It's a lot of words.
Are we really going to
like
need that many?
It's like a Scrabble dictionary. Most of them are things people haven't heard of.
Damn.
So
Let me just put that for now. Scale. Um, that's actually going to be a little bit weird. I think I can just do that. Times scale. Will that work? Yeah, and then if I just move it back a little bit, not one letter, but like maybe most of a letter. Let's go too far back. Still too far back. And then it could probably blink, so. $60 is about 1 second. Actually, you know what? Oof. You know what? We'll go ahead and do about like what? And then on the draw event. Yay. Cool. So now we've got like a blinking cursor, and I made some room for that feature I wanted to see. We'll see how it actually plays out. We can turn it off pretty easily. I guess we could just compare the strings. Can we just directly compare them? I just restart the game if that happens. Oh, but you know what? The game's probably going to keep restarting out of nowhere. So... and then we'll probably want to add some sort of delay before the AI starts typing. Maybe a couple of frames, 2 seconds. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. I don't know how to type space. Yeah, okay, so reset it there. Cool. We'll just do a restart. And then, yeah, that's literally that feature, you know, the ideas out there now. But of course, yeah, I guess we should probably start implementing some sort of player character. I kind of forgot earlier. So when you want to do like player character movement, did you just do they type to move, or is it just like standard WASD or whatever?
I was thinking either mouse or arrow keys so it doesn't interfere with typing.
Okay. Okay, cool. I guess I can start on some sort of like menu system. Instead of draw GUI, maybe we can just...
Or are you just going to stick to individual words?
Depends on you. For me, like my original vision was that there was going to be whole phrases, but if we're taking a more action approach, then we'll probably want to do just single words.
Yeah.
Not much else. Yeah. Ooh, I butchered that. Making a game about typing and I can't even type myself. Yoink, 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 yoink. Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can cut down the word list a bit so there's not so much variation in length.
Okay. Stop duplicating and stop the monster. Set that to 1. Should I put a cap on the blink timer? Make sure that didn't mess anything up. Yep. thinking if I should put this within the manager. We'll see. We'll just go straight for it. I don't know where we put these. We'll just do it directs first. Here's this 254. Oops. No, I probably need to put like some coordinates too. probably put 79 actually. Okay. Four 16, 256. Can I do this? I guess we'll find out. Because I think we need to do this. Yeah, we do. I don't have to do this, but it'll help me. And then we can probably just yes, they're all in the same spot. No, it's not there. So move this one down a bunch. 256. 272. 272 plus 288. Starting to get to that point in nighttime where we can't really do this. Okay.
Should probably finish up soon.
Yeah. And then obviously I want blinking to turn on kind of like dynamically, so I might actually go back up here. That by default. Here, make that false by default. and then it isn't until ooh, just pop my wrist. So if it's not blinking, start blinking, my boy. Else, how would what would I want to do if it turns off? I guess we'll do this. I'll think about it a little bit later. So invert this maybe? No. I have no idea. Simple as that. Nope, that's not this. So it should start off. There we go. Are these all sharing? Same sort of pool. Oh, because keyboard string. Okay. So probably don't reset the keyboard string. So this would be a problem. Let me think here. We could just make our own. Or we could take one letter at a time instead of resetting. This would require some more lines. Let's see. Been going for almost an hour now. So we'll probably want to just take in the keyboard string one letter at a time, and then see if that next letter. So so each time it compares. Just do this. Keyboard. There's a lot of lag. We'll just blank out the keyboard string when we're done, I guess. Input equals keyboards. So should I just do this? Let's see what that did. Probably not much, because I'm not using fourth dimensional brain thinking. So it no longer does backspace. Yeah, I didn't really test that well that time. Oh, you know what? Is that right? Yeah, we'll probably be wrapping up soon. Because I gotta go to bed and then think about how I want to go about multiple things on screen. Multiple pieces of text on screen. Just remove this line for the moment and just put on one thing for now. Make sure that one thing works, and then we'll put two things. So clearly it's falling apart somewhere. Let's go. Steal one of these.
That's really dumb.
What's up?
I've been trying to get Python to open a text file for like 10 minutes and it wouldn't work until I moved it to a different place. I moved the text file from the same directory as the Python file to one above it, and now it's working for some reason.
What? Okay.
Makes no sense, but whatever. Just gonna go with it.
Substring string index. Substring string index. Do I need to offset it a little bit? Is that what my problem is? Is it putting it at the start?
I think I might have figured it out why it's doing that.
Oh, okay.
Coming weird. Basically, I'm using Visual Studio Code and I'm running it in the Visual Studio console. And Visual Studio has that folder open. So I think even though the Python file is located in that folder, it's still treating that folder as root. Because
Bro.
that's what Visual Studio has open. Which is dumb.
Looks good. String inserts. The string to be copied. Oh. No, I'm doing that right. Exercise in futility. Just trying to put the L before the P. It's not where it's supposed to go. Isn't this... Can I literally just... Can't I just concatenate them since I don't need to put it in the middle? How's it backwards though? Is it how I'm resetting keyboard string? Alright, in about 10 minutes I'm gonna turn off the string and call it a night.
Okay.
since before. So, duh, I'm an idiot. I'm actually a little bit dumb. I mean, let's get the whole shebang in there. I was writing it wrong. I was looking at the freaking input when I should. Oh well. Cool. I don't know if I need to do anything special. Can you go ahead? I'm gonna increase gravity here, right? Probably. Alright. See. So it's probably because of that right there. Can't see anything else out. So that didn't work well. Interesting, interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's too soon. Coolio. Alright. That's probably going to be a wrap for tonight. I gotta go to bed. We're going to figure things out. We'll get them working.
Okay. So stop working, stop the stream, and then the timer stopped. We'll figure out how much time we use tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll figure out when the next stream happens. Off stream. Alright.
Did anyone actually watch any of that?
It shows 2 people. I can't be sure. I PM'd it to a few people. Either way, it's a good way to keep track of time, so.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.